What's up, YouTube? So this weekend we had the NFC Championship game played by the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. The Los Angeles Rams pulled it off with the win in overtime. There was one large controversial call that should have been called pass interference that probably would have changed the outcome of the game. So the New Orleans Saints are, as you can understand, livid about the whole call because they feel like that would have projected them to go to the Super Bowl. There's a lot of protesting and a lot of, whining, if you will, about the call because they most likely probably would have gone to the Super Bowl. But it didn't work out that way. You know, how many times in history have there been bad calls? You could talk to Dez Bryant a couple years ago when the referees called him he had a no call or a no catch when he caught the ball. That would have changed the time for the Cowboys. There's plenty of other times. But nobody wants to talk about, the New Orleans Saints going 2-5 in the end zone. Nobody wants to talk about the 13-0 blown lead. What about that? What about Drew Brees throwing a pick in the end zone? What about that? And what it really boils down to is don't put yourself in a situation to where you have to have one call to determine the game for you. Don't put yourself in a situation to you have to go to overtime. If you take care of business thoroughly during the regular game, we have 4 quarters, it shouldn't boil down to anything. It should be cut and clear that you bust that ass. But that's not what happened. So don't cry about it.
You like it, love it, hate it.
Hate it. Let it go. All you're doing is prolonging the healing process, Skip Bayless. What he should have done is posted the same picture, HOME, home, because that's exactly where you are, and that's where you're going to be. They're not going to replay this game. I don't care how many petitions that the local congressmen or aldermen or whatever you want to call them, Skip, they're not going to replay this game. Not the last 148, not the last 10 minutes. No part of this game will ever be replayed. I get it. Skip, they got legitimate arguments. Because like I said it in real time. I cannot believe it. I said, hey, that was the referee let a non-call go. It was horrible. It was egregious. You should, if you don't get the PI, you get it with helmet to helmet. It didn't happen. The officials are human. How could you?
Exactly. To touch back on it, your game's not going to be played again. You're not going to get a chance to play overtime again. You're not going to get a chance to get the PI called back. You're not going to get a chance to play the game, period. So stop crying about it, for one thing. And for two, the referees are human. Don't let the human element be the determining factor on whether or not you make it to the Super Bowl. Take care of business. Don't give the referees a chance to make a bad call that will screw you over so you don't make it to the big show. Take care of business when you have to.
Miss it the same way they miss it in the first quarter, they miss it in the third quarter, or they miss it in the second quarter.
Yeah.
They're human. Let it go. You know what this reminds me of, Skip? We talked about this last year, but it was a different outcome. The Eagles won, but all they did was talk about what? Oh, the Patriots, they don't have no fun. Whoa, this old Bill Belichick, he disrespected Dougie P. Whoa, this, whoa, that. Let it go. You won. Okay, let it go. You lost. What can change? Oh, it's nice and catchy. Oh, you see it? Man, you see Michael Thomas, he spelled out, got the Super Bowl logo, and he got L-I-I-I-E. Come on.
It's clever. You
It
gotta
was.
give him that.
Yeah. Well,
Roman.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm the Rams,
Yes,
I could come up with a hashtag. Yeah, Super Bowl. HOME. Saints logo. Yeah, because that's where they are, home. We getting ready. Why y'all not talking about us? Oh, Todd Gurley, TG for 100. CJ Dickerson. Jared Goff.
Rams could do hashtag counterfeit or hashtag.
wait,
how about hashtag fraudulent?
No.
You can always find
Right?
something.
Or Cowboys could do hashtag never. Yeah.
Harsh.
Well, you can't do never.
Never.
You can't do never when
Never.
you got 5.
Never.
Right.
Never again.
Yeah. You could do hashtag not for a while.
Yeah.
Still working on
For a
it.
long while.
Building. Hashtag building.
Not for a minute? Could you give me a not for a minute?
Why is this so fun?
More minutes.
All right. So, all Michael Thomas is doing is pouring salt in your wound.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for you to keep defending your position when the world is just outraged.
They're
over
already
this.
on your side.
Okay, so he is clearly preaching to a huge choir that is in full throat with outrage to this moment over this call.
Correct.
Nobody has let it go just yet. What are we to Thursday?
Thursday.
And it feels like it's going to go on for the rest of this week before it
sure.
dies down.
Right.
Shannon Sharpe, even you would agree, it was the all-time robbery. As far as that moment goes, it was the worst blown call in sports history.
72 Olympics in basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that. I know there's plenty of other bad calls that have happened that have changed the course of history for a couple of teams. And the one just offhand, like I said before, that Dez Bryant catch that should have been catched in the end zone or at the one a couple of years ago. And there's a couple other calls throughout history that definitely changed. But, you know, nothing's going to change from it. The game's not going to be replayed. You know, crying about it is not, and talking about going to Congress and doing all that type of stuff. It's not going to change anything.
You know it.
I saw it. I watched it live.
Say it. That was more egregious, Skip, and you know it.
Okay, but now you're doing Russia versus the United States. You got international politics, Cold War. It's in the Cold War time.
But I had to dig, Skip. I went through a lot of stuff last night to come up with a first call.
and you're not being governed by the National Football League, right? So when you bring the integrity, the official into question, I don't know where his loyalties lie, but I would like to think I know where the loyalties lie of the National Football League referees.
Right.
I would think they're just trying to get it right. I would think that they're still paid a lot of money, even though they're not full-time, to make calls that are obvious, blatant, egregious, and that was as egregious as it gets.
It was.
And it's still hard for me to process how the side judge, back judge, somebody in the vicinity, somebody just doesn't say, well, if you're not going to throw it, I'll throw it, because that's outrage. I'm throwing this flag, right? But they all swallowed their proverbial whistle.
Like I said before, don't let it get down to have the referees have to decide your fate. You know, because sometimes they all turn into knuckleheads. One's not going to make a call. The other one's not going to make a call. They're all looking at each other like, well, what do we do? You get that stupid little mob mentality where they all turn to knuckleheads and then the call doesn't go your way. It doesn't go your way. But let's keep an even head here, because if it would have gone the way of the Saints, had the roles been reversed, they wouldn't be bitching about it. They'd be happy. Like, oh, we didn't get the call on us. No problem. So who knows? Maybe next year the Saints might get the call or the no call. And that might put them into the Super Bowl where Drew Brees can go and do his thing again. You know, so all this crying and protesting and all that, it's not going to do a damn thing. If anything, it makes you look stupid. Don't be a sore loser. The Tide didn't go your way this year. Wait till next year. Have it motivate you. Have you be motivated for this whole offseason to come back and bust that ass and get to the show again and show everybody, you see, we should have been there last year. But that no call screwed us over. Even though we should have taken care of business throughout the other 4 quarters and not going 2-5 in the red zone, not throwing picks in the end zone, not blowing a 13-0 lead.
They all
took their flag.
Yeah. And they all looked at each other like, I'm not going to do this.
Not at this moment, Skip.
And usually that is the flag you do throw because you're swept up in the emotion of the moment of the home team.
Right.
What's arguably, I know the outdoor crowd would be Seattle's on decibels, but are the decibels not the highest in that dome, in that Thunderdome?
Yes.
So wouldn't you think the refs would be swept up in that moment? But they went the other way, and they all just let their flag sit in their pocket.
Because if he throws it, Skip, and everybody's going to say, man, I can't believe he threw it in that moment. What is everybody going to say? But was it PI? Was it helmet to helmet? So he has an out. If he throws the flag, Skip, he has an out because everybody's going to say, well, yeah, but it was pass interference. Yes, it was helmet to helmet. He doesn't throw it, and people are like, well, bruh, how could you not see that?
Okay. So, just on my small level, I'm going to show you the magnitude of this, the reaction to this play. Soon after it, I tweeted, all caps, all-time robbery.
Right.
And I don't read my responses, my ats, but I look at my analytics just to see what people reacted to, because it helps us think, what do we want to do on the show?
Right.
What are people hottest for us to talk about?
Right.
Yes.
So I look back in awe at this one. it shattered anything I've ever gotten off a Cowboy game or a Brady game or a LeBron James game.
Right.
It's 3.3 million impressions, and I'm not even sure what all the impressions, how you define impressions.
Right.
But for me, if I do in the 1 millions, that's a whole lot. I'm sure my record might be 2-ish, somewhere around 2. This went to 3.3 because everybody concurred.
Yeah.
There was no gray area for
No, it was
once.
not, no.
For once, the whole world was into all.
You know, of course, the analytics are going to point to a certain call where everybody is on the same page about a terrible call in a major game that determines whether or not you go to the Super Bowl. So, of course, you're going to have the analytics are just going to blow up. You know, of course, they're going to blow up. But that's still not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything.
Time robbery. So you can't condemn Michael Thomas for he's just driving the bandwagon, man. And that was a clever way to drive it. And I'm with you. At some point, you have to. You don't need to let it go. You just need to reverse it to let's be fueled by this.
Right.
Let's because nobody's going to say you're reaching. Nobody's going to be saying you're making a lousy excuse or everybody's with you that you deserve to do LIE.
I heard they got a. What'd you say, Healy? They said that official got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Really?
That's what I heard. I just made that up. Let me stop.
Yeah, you put that on our producer.
You know, people actually believe that.
Well, Todd Gurley posted a Photoshop of him exchanging jerseys.
Yeah, he posted that. Somebody posted that on Todd Gurley.
Was it?
Yeah, he was hacked.
Oh, he was hacked?
Hacked.
I thought Todd
should retweet. I think you should tweet it again today.
Yeah, okay.
Exact same way.
All right.
See if it beats that number.
Oh,
I bet
you
it might
think it
even
would?
be more
I don't
outrage.
think so.
No.
It's built.
But it was in the moment of the moment, like it was right.
But it was. But
about
Skip, it was an egregious act. But at the end of the day, was that guy not human?
Yeah, human frailty, as Jerry Jones
Yeah.
says. No, he was. How about are there 7 on the crew? I think all 7 of them were painfully human.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the only guy that really couldn't make that call was the referee. Because he can't make a call way down the field.
Well, I think he could if he wanted to.
No, he can't.
Well, I mean, is it within the confines of the rules?
Because then everybody's gonna say, wait a minute. How's a referee throwing a pass interference flag from 30 yards away?
This is the one I wanted them to huddle on.
Oh no, because then you're gonna see, that was the NFL. The NFL told them to get together and they threw the flag.
Okay, well, I'm
Just like when the Cowboys picked the flag up. You remember that, Skip Bayless,
Right.
against your Detroit Lions?
Anthony Hitchens.
Yeah,
Now,
what'd he do,
Kansas
Skip?
City Chief. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Flag.
Yeah.
Then they pick it up to there was no pass interference.
It was pass interference. I give you that. And by the way, that was the one day Tony Romo was clutch. He threw it to Jason Witten to win the game. Way to go, Tony.
Yeah, and then next week, no catch by Dez.
No catch. So that was a clutch throw by Tony Romo.
Yeah, it was.
But it's just sort of Romo's, that's his fate is that it always seems to go the
But
wrong
at some
way.
point, they got to let it go.
Yeah.
I know pain.
Yeah.
96,
You don't know any pain.
I know pain.
You played in
We
3
lo-
Super Bowls
we-
and won all 3 of them.
We did, but I'm saying we had to go through pain to get there.
Mark
the
Brunell?
division. Yes.
Yeah.
Losing to Buffalo 10-7.
I love Mark Brunell. He's a good guy.
No, he ain't no good guy. You just like that because they beat us.
He did.
Yeah, they like no
He
Mark
beat you
Brunell.
at Denver.
He did.
That's pain.
That's pain.
Yeah.
We lost. But we didn't keep talking about it. It's still pain, but I ain't watching the game anyway.
Was it like the first round game or the
It was divisional.
divisional game
Yeah.
at Denver?
We had to mop the floor with air.
Shannon doesn't know much about pain. Like Skip said, he won 3 Super Bowls and everything that goes along with that, so he doesn't feel too much pain. He doesn't care about anybody else. But anyways, what this straight up boils down to is, stop crying. Let this motivate you for the offseason to work hard. Get your schemes and players together and just get ready for the next year so you can come back even stronger and show the world that, you see, that was a blown call. We should have been to the Super Bowl, but guess what? We're taking care of business this year, and now we're going to go to the big show, and we're going to win it all. That's how you do it. Stop crying.